Estranged wife cheated July 2021, now defaming me. I have been lurking on this sub for a little while, and like many others, would just like to say thank you for sharing and helping others in their healing process. Some new information came to light today from some colleagues that my estranged spouse is grasping for attention on private Facebook groups, essentially calling me a monster, saying I beat her, mentally abused her, and financially abused her, and was a deadbeat dad. And I'm struggling to comprehend how she can justify any of it, when I was none of those things. Not a single time did I ever hit her or get physical with her, did I ever control her, other than caution her not to go crazy on a credit card that she so kindly maxed out before we started our divorce process, and she had her own vehicle to go do anything she wanted to do. I was absent from my son's life quite a bit, currently 3, because I was working and going to school full-time for 4 years, and only had 10 days of PTO. But I thought I had their best interests at heart, and it was temporary. But to the point. The end of our marriage began on January 12, 2021, when we were forced to terminate our 20-week-old baby due to a rare genetic defect that would have been fatal for her, and the baby was going to die no matter what. The pain from that event alone was horrible, but she said she only wanted kids because of me, both wanted to try again a few months later, and got pregnant with twins, only to have them disappear at 8 weeks. At this point, she was already on multiple antipsychotic meds, and we were both pretty depressed and became distant. She stopped doing pretty much anything, and barely spoke a word to me when I got home from work, etc. We were both trying to cope, and it wasn't really healthy for either of us. But I believe the medication allowed her to detach from reality, and at some point she decided I wasn't being emotionally supportive enough during the summer of 2021. I know this, because a fellow Marine that I served with sent me a screenshot of her on Tinder in July. It took me a few days to confront her, but I finally did, where she tried to play it off like she created it and deleted it within the first day and was just trying to get attention, but I didn't believe her, still don't, because she deleted all of her history, wouldn't share her phone with me, and likely had been cheating on me for a while. She would do weird things like go to the gym with a personal trainer at 1 a.m. and things like that, so, oh well. I still attempted to reconcile for the sake of our son, but she wanted out. She said she couldn't stand to look at me anymore, and became extremely cold and suhy about getting the divorce process started immediately, so we filed in August and became legally separated, and I started paying for an apartment, because she blackmailed me and said I couldn't see our son anymore if I didn't. So I started packing up our house, paying a mortgage and for an apartment, racking up debt while getting ready our home fixed up to sell. While doing this, she would leave our son with me, so she could go sleep around and basically did nothing to help. It was a fun 3 months. Duck moving. I don't know why, but I held on to the hope of possibly reconciling so that our son could grow up in a nuclear family. I held on to that thought until about March, because I myself grew up in a household where my father left when I was 3, always wondering where my dad was. It sucked, and I didn't want my son to have that life.
Stay tuned for more.
March was when I made the mistake of looking at her social media and seeing her with the guy I presume she was cheating on me with the entire time. And now I have to hear my son now ask me where babe is, because she has this dude tucking him into bed and basically replaced me already, which I definitely don't think is healthy, but pretty powerless there. And it just genuinely sucks, because I actually loved her, and thought we would spend the rest of our lives together. Cliché, I know. There were rough patches, and we were in a horrible spot with the loss of the babies, but I finished my degree, about a week after finding out about her being on Tinder, and found a much better job that is full remote. Life, in my eyes, was looking up for both of us. But today, getting screenshots from people seeing the disgusting shit she talks about on these FB mom groups, talking about how the guy is great at his pull-out game and CMS on her, and has laughing emojis saying, "Uh-oh, I might get pregnant again," shows me total disregard for the loss that we experienced, and it seems like she is either so numb from the pain, that she just completely lost herself. And to top it off, 2 weeks ago, I made a sincere apology, about all of the mean things that I did do to her throughout our 6 years of marriage. I cried, she cried, and I thought we could move forward with amicably co-parenting, and she agreed to limit that guy from seeing my son since he's just using her for time, my assumption. But she threw it in my face, saying I'm a narcissist and my apology basically meant nothing on the FB group, and completely lied about limiting contact with our son. This post was seen by several colleagues' wives who knew the whole situation and screenshotted it, and sent it to me. Like, multiple employees' wives in my firm probably saw that it, so I sent it to my lawyer, because she is literally ruining my name. It's so disheartening for someone you once cherished to say such horrible things, and deliberately lie about you, for really no apparent reason. Her original post was to get legal advice because I told her I had an attorney ghosting our MSA, and she didn't trust me. I'm not sure if I should tell her I know any of that information, probably not, because I think she'll go nuts on me for finding out. But I would like input for one thing. She is extremely passive-aggressive when we exchange our son. Basically along the lines of things like, "Oh, he didn't die while you had him." I'm surprised. It feels like she just wants to get at me any way she can with what little contact I have with her at this point. Any way to handle that going forward besides simply ignoring it? Thank you for listening.
Stay tuned for more.
Redditor's reactions update after. Redditor 1. I would retain a lawyer and serve her with a lawsuit for defamation of character, ASAP. Answer. I have an attorney retained after she threatened me with custody last month after confronting her about her AP. I sent what screenshots my colleague's wife sent me, but unfortunately she went back, or the mods of the group did, and deleted the comments that stated I was abusive. What is left is only calling me a narcissist and a few other things, but everything related to the abuse got deleted. It still seems like defamation from what is left, but my attorney hasn't gotten back to me yet. Redditor 2. Dan brother, sorry what you are going through. My ex did and still is playing the same character shaming. I think it's a way for them to get pity from others but also hide and justify their behavior cheating. My character speaks for me, so I don't get bent all out of shape at this point. The truth at some point will surface. In the meantime, just watch your six with your ex, because you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you are left trying to prove that you didn't physically do something to the authorities. So given everything you have experienced, just your better judgment when dealing with her, and make sure you do everything in public. Keep your head up and stay frosty. Answer. I agree. She failed to mention that she cheated on me, which would have probably flipped the script a little. I don't even think her family know why we are getting divorced. But I appreciate it. I need to be very careful going anywhere near her, and might honestly ask if I can pick up my son from her parents going forward. SF. Redditor 3. No more in-person conversations. Force the use of a co-parenting app. No words when you exchange. If she tries to talk, tell her to take it to the app. Be prepared to walk away a lot. And consider a cease and desist from your lawyer just to shut her up. Answer. Thank you. I will work on getting that done. And I think my lawyer is probably going to work on that. Update. Attempt at reconciliation. So, synopsis: if my last post, wife had emotional and likely physical affair in July, filed for divorce in August, then recently was posting things that caught my attention and were borderline defamation. After I confronted my estranged spouse about what she was posting about me, we started having some pretty deep conversations. And she ended up breaking up with a guy she was with for 7 months. According to her, they started dating after we were legally separated. I am able to look past most of what happened, and attempt a genuine reconciliation, but it already seems to be that she wants to blame shift to me for everything that happened. I know this is going to take time, therapy, and lots of time, but I'm looking to see if anyone was successful at breaking the WS thought process and blame shifting and getting a true reconciliation, because I don't want to waste my time. I don't think I'm wasting my time attempting this, because I'm in it for my 3-year-old son. He's my priority. And I hate not being in his life every day. So if I can look past all of the horrible crap, for him, and possibly rebuild the trust of my estranged wife, it would be worth it. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1. You've done the difficult part, separated and gotten the legal paperwork going. Why would you undo all of that work just to get back with someone that still blames you for her affair, and for all you know never stopped it? Answer. Honestly, it's killing me not getting to see my son every day. That's the real driving force, if not the only one.
Stay tuned for more.
Redditor 2. Don't accept this op. She is a acid storm and she is messing up everyone's lives because she is out of control and not dealing with her own issues. See her more like an addict and now she is blaming you for her addiction. That isn't how this works. She only wants you back because you are the safety net because the AP didn't work out. Stay true with the divorce and finalize it. If she really is changed or better or whatever lie she wants to spin, a new relationship can be built, but for now this one is dead because of her. Answer. Yeah, her family was on board with her decision too, it seems like. I mean, I was going through a lot. We both were. And she left me for someone else at the worst possible time. And she said that I needed to go through what I went through in order to change. That was pretty ducking heartless. I guess. My sense of direction is pretty ducked up, and this could very well just cause more pain and end up continuing the divorce. Reddit 3. The fact she's blame shifting means she's not ready for reconciliation. Full stop. If you go blind into this, it's going to fail. Tell her you will give reconciliation an honest try if after a couple months her therapist is willing to vouch for her. Get her in therapy, make sure you get a sent to get progress reports from the therapist, and see if she's genuinely remorseful. You get the unvarnished opinion of a professional, you get time to process and heal, and she will immediately or very quickly give up if she isn't genuine, and that saves you the pain of what if. And if no one has told you, flat out tell her every time she tries blame shifting that your problems in your relationship could have been solved in a fraction of the effort she spent on the hundreds of little lies she perpetuated to cheat in the first place. If she wanted things fixed, she would have. She just cheats instead of facing her problems. It's on her to prove it. She wants to grow, and if she won't or can't, she needs to own that. I will end my advice saying everything I've said above is genuine and I wish you success, but the reality is this probably isn't going to work. It's important you spend the time she is spending realizing she's an unsafe partner and how to fix it on strengthening your own individuality and self-worth. Give her as much time and attention as a woman you casually date. Focus your real effort on yourself, your esteem and your growth, because either way this goes, you come out with a strong sense of self and an understanding of what you deserve.